right, welcome back to another XRP CBDC update. We have the Bank of England coming out talking about Bitcoin is not money. We're going to discuss it. Also, this Forbes article has been floating around, quote unquote Forbes article that XRP is headed to 60,000. We'll talk about it. Cypress DeMoniker has a really cool clip about some upcoming events and how Ripple is one of the only companies that are going to be there. Zach Rector, we're going to talk about tokenized money, talk a little bit about the escrow, and there's a great clip towards the end here. So I hope you can stay with me through this whole fun event. I'm Crypto Sensei. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, aloha. Let's go ahead and get into this.
On crypto, I mean, look, can I by the way draw a distinction? I think it's important when we talk about crypto to just draw a distinction between two things. One is what I tend to call unbacked crypto of the Bitcoin variety, the other is stable coins. I think they're different animals in that sense. I'm afraid I continue to think that unbacked crypto, is essentially has no intrinsic value. It may have value to people who want to own bits of it, but it doesn't have an intrinsic value. And it is a highly volatile investment. I think it should be regulated appropriately with that in mind, but I think we have to always get the message across. That is a highly volatile instrument to hold. Now, you may want to hold it, but please understand what you've got. And it's not money, and it is not in any sense money. Stable coins purport to be money, purport to be used in payments. You'll have seen that we've put out, we've got legislation now in this country which sets out the regulatory framework for stable coins, which is important. And we in the Bank of England for so-called systemic stable coins, those that would be used more widely, will put in place the rules around that. Now, because they purport to be money and because that is their intended use, they will have to be held to a higher standard. With unbacked crypto, it's not money. Nobody should, I think, be under any illusions. With stable coins purporting to be money, they will have to maintain the standards of money. And I think the public has a right to expect they hold their value, and so that's what we will be aiming for.
The only thing I was going to add to that, Andrew, was
so when you sell your crypto on Coinbase and USD and you put it in your bank account, it sure feels like money, doesn't it? Like, when I, make a 10x on something and I turn $1,000 into 10 grand and I cashed out that money, feels like money, doesn't it? I get what he's saying here. And central banks are always going to say that crypto in general is not real money, right? When you're talking about a sovereign currency, a US dollar or British pound or whatever it is, I get their point here, right? At the end of the day, they're not interested in the actual crypto asset. They are interested in the underlying technology of DLT. That is what they care about. They don't care about Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe they don't even care about XRP. They care about the protocol and what it does and how they can use that to supercharge their financial systems to bring more money and more use cases into their respected governments or financial systems.
Some of the underlying technologies, particularly around distributed ledger technology, blockchain, they're obviously of interest. We're experimenting with them, just as a lot of other central banks are. The financial sector is doing a huge amount of experimentation to see if they're the use cases where they could be relevant.
That's technology, not the crypto.
Yeah, but it's the technology that often gets emphasized as being why people are getting involved in them. But that's certainly why we're interested in their potential use case.
It's the technology. It's not the crypto. Fair enough, right? The price of the token is a distraction, right? It was Glenn Hutchins that said that, right? Years ago. And that dude, he's right. All right, so this is floating around, and this has been floating around for a long time, but new people tweet about it, and it's like, oh my God, this is a new article. XRP is going to 60K. Now, I don't know whether XRP will eventually get to $60,000, right? There would be a lot of things that would have to happen in order for us to reach a seriously stupid price of that. You would need basically the entire financial system or a large chunk of it running on the XRP ledger, right? You're talking about, 30, 40, 50 trillion dollars a day cleared on the XRP ledger. You're talking about trillions of dollars that are added to the XRP ledger in the form of debt, tokenized securities, derivatives, whatever it is, right? Tokenized real estate, gold. I mean, even gold's is it a 12 billion or $20 billion market, right? It's not that big. Right? So, and I could have got that number wrong. I am not a gold expert. So if I did get it wrong, just shoot me down in the comments. But this is not something new. But just in order for you to understand how we get to a price like this, it would take a whole lot of really good things happening at once. I think this is more of like, everyone has one of those relatives that is always smoking a doobie or, you know, getting high, and they're like, whoa, bro, XRP 60K. Like it's one of those really kind of fringe things. Like I can see XRP going to $10, $20, right? That's basically what retail can do to the XRP price if FOMO really kicks in. But in order to get us into the thousands or tens of thousands, you're going to need a ton of tokenized value coming and being transacted on the ledger. So Cypher's to Monocore put this out. I'm not going to read through all of the, you know, what. I'm just going to play the clip. Okay, let's play the clip. Let's talk about it.
Let me show you this event that's coming up next week that must just be all by accident, right? Big fat nothing burger, not by design by the elite organizations that run this world, ain't wrong. Pay attention to detail, people. FinTech Retreat, February 5th to the 6th. You don't get invited or attend these events for absolutely no reason, okay? You scroll down here, you hit attendees, and what do we see? Major organizations, major government agencies. We got the White House, we got the FBI, we got the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia, the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco, and oh, would you look at that? The Japanese Minister of Finance, right? Must be random. Then we also have Visa.
Ministry.
And then right down here, we got Ripple. You have no other distributed ledger technology companies or blockchain-based solutions here.
Good
on
point.
this. See, just Ripple. Must be an accident that their name is there, right? No. Check this out. Back to Japan Ministry of Finance. Y'all remember back in 2021 when the frickin' securities regulator in Japan said that XRP wasn't a security? Must have been a coincidence. No, because what did we determine here in the United States? Same thing, right? What else did we see last year?
And
September 2023. Japanese financial giant to use Ripple and XRP for international remittances. And who's going to be there? Japanese Ministry of Finance, Visa, Ripple. Visa, Ripple, what did they just do? They sat at the Davos event. You all see? Just recently, Blockchain Davos 2024, talking about, there's Ripple right there, there's Visa right there, talking about the next phase of cross-border payments, okay? This is not by accident. If you can't see that this is all a design implementation over a prolonged period of time, I don't know what else to show you, people. This is not an accident. These people don't go to events with these people and these people for no reason. If you
All right, you get the picture, okay? There's an event coming up on the 5th and 6th of February. Ripple is one of the only blockchain infrastructure companies that will be joining a host of other huge conglomerates like Visa, Plaid, the Japanese Ministry of Defense, Japanese Ministry, whatever it was, you understand, right? It's a big deal. Ripple is still, you know, you have to take notice when these events happen, and Ripple really is like the only blockchain infrastructure company invited, right? It's not Binance. No, it will never be Binance. You know, it's not the Ethereum Foundation. You know, it's Ripple. So anyways, Zach Rector have something to say about the Ripple IPO, and let's go ahead and play this 43 seconds.
I wanted to start off this update by asking you guys the question, do you think that Ripple has a chance of having the biggest IPO in history? Now, I wanted to start and preface this Ripple IPO update by asking that question, comparing some of these other companies, and taking a look at Ripple, the position that they're in. They just conducted a huge tender offer buyback of their own shares. And we're going to break this down, and I want to let everyone know that Ripple shares are available once again at link 2. Now, I have a link down below.
Use my link so I make money off of you. All right, so will they have the biggest IPO in history? I don't think so, okay? Why? Ripple is a big deal in our little circle of group of people, right? It's not the biggest, most well-known company, right? Not like your Nvidias or your Apples or your Chevrolets. I don't know. What's a Toyotas? Okay, that's a better car company to use. But I think their IPO will be big. Will it be the biggest ever in history? I don't think so. And I would love to be wrong about that. I own a little bit of Ripple shares. But anyways, I'll let you decide what you think. Let me know down in the comments. Do you think it'll be the biggest in history? Right? We'll have to see. From XRP drops, for tokenized assets like CBDCs, stablecoins, cross-border payments, and consumer to business payments are the top most highly ranked use cases in 2023, Value Report says from Ripple. XRP is designed as a bridge currency, for example, bridging two CBDCs in a cross-border transaction. Ripple's Palau stablecoin project, the PSC, is running on the XRP ledger. Over 80% of global finance leaders are somewhat or more likely to use cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, or other stablecoins. That is a big freaking deal, right? That's what I'm saying. You have 30 central banks testing the technology. We have to pay attention. Over 70% of financial leaders say that their confidence in crypto and blockchain has increased in 2023. This is a great step. You remember how bad 2022 was? Man, I I almost didn't make it through 2022. It was hard to get through, right? But we did. 2023 felt like a breeze compared to 2022, and 2024 has been really great so far, right? The market's been pumping. We have the Bitcoin halving coming up. There are a lot of really great layer 2s, layer 1s that are coming out. A lot of really great things that we can invest in as people, as individuals, to hopefully make our lives better. Of course, we do have our favorite assets that have been around for some time, like our XRPs. Ripple locks $800 million after releasing only $600 million in XRP. Okay, so does that make sense to you? I think $800 million worth, maybe, after releasing only $600 million. So, or Ripple's locking extra XRP up, I guess, is that what we got from this? Ripple is committed to bolstering confidence. Better days are coming. All right, and then here is the final video that I wanted to play for this XRP, Ripple, and CBDC update. This is from 801. Big shout out to you, 801. Thank you for all the good work and value that you put in. So this is Internet of Value 2014 oldie but goodie, interviewed by co-founder Ripple, Chris Larson. Sometimes it's fun to go back and look at some of the things. If you're new to the space, you might not have even seen this. This is like a great little thing that was put together. This is, of course, San Francisco, a place that I am from, the Bay Area. Big shout out to you. I love you, Bay Area. San Francisco is not quite the place that it used to be when I was growing up as a kid, but hopefully they can get back to that shining light that used to be the Bay Area and the city.
The problem we have in the world today isn't that our payment systems are broken, it's that they're antiquated.
There are 1.5 billion people out there who don't have access to their financial system.
Settlement today requires third parties. There simply is no way for two institutions to reconcile their obligations without having to rely on a third party to arbitrate.
If you have a central operator, you can't construct that value exchange system on the fundamentals of the internet.
When the web was originally designed, one of the main goals that they had that they didn't achieve was to have a way to transfer value.
Ripple is an open source protocol that is designed to facilitate settlement of funds in real time in any currency.
Having a standardized protocol allows financial institutions to instantly connect with anyone on the network.
Basically acts as an internet for value exchange. My name is Chris Larson, the CEO and co-founder of Ripple Labs. Ripple Labs is the technology company that originally invented the Ripple protocol. The Ripple protocol now is open source. It's really a public good. Ripple Labs doesn't own it. Anybody can use it for free as they see fit, really like an HTTP for money. Our job is really just to continue to introduce new innovations that make the core more stable, more scalable, more secure, and importantly, bridges and connections to that core to make it easier for banks, financial institutions, market makers, developers, eventually anybody with an interest to integrate to that core system. That's a big task, and we think you need a phenomenal team of very, very smart, dedicated people working on that protocol if this really is going to be an internet for value exchange.
When looking at the payment system today, it's comprised of a series of components that are designed to custody assets and transmit them around. So at the very top of the payments, we have application layers like PayPal, Stripe, Square, applications, technologies that interface with consumers and businesses looking to execute a transaction. Below that, we have banks, the institutions that custody the assets themselves. Moving below that, we start to look at the core interbank infrastructure, rule sets around business continuity, safety and soundness, regulatory compliance. Below that, we have messaging standards, so we can think about SWIFT codes, payment messages, Visa messages. And finally, below that, we have a settlement infrastructure, which is operated primarily by the central banks domestically and correspondent banks internationally. So where Ripple fits today in the existing payment stack is at the bottom. I'm Patrick Griffin, head of business development for Ripple Labs. Traditional funds transfers today effectively rely on intermediaries to coordinate settlement. So while payments can happen bilaterally, fund settlement has to move through a network of third-party intermediaries. What that creates is a system where payments can be lost and liquidity costs a lot more money.
Before joining Ripple Labs, I was working as a Bitcoin volunteer for 3 years. I'm trying to get Bitcoin into the mainstream, and what attracted me to Ripple was just the amazing team that they put together. My name is Stefan Thomas, and I'm CTO at Ripple Labs. One big priority for us at Ripple Labs is to build APIs, which then allow financial institutions and developers to work together and build apps that are innovative and tie into the financial infrastructure. There are parallels between the internet of the 80s, where you had CompuServe and Genie and AOL as individual islands that are unfederated, and then the value web as it exists today, where you have individual payment networks like PayPal, Alipay, and M-Pesa, which also are not connected together yet. And so we think that the same thing will happen where these start to be interoperable through some common protocol.
There you go.
All the progress we've seen over the last 20 years of the internet, now seeing that bleed into payment systems, transaction systems. So again, it's not that our systems are broken. They work. They're antiquated, and if you could take a step up now, get that analogy of value moving information has been over the last 2 decades, opens up so many possibilities for existing businesses, the incumbents, their customers, and for the global economy.
Now you have the possibility to deliver real-time payment messages against real-time fund settlement on a good funds basis.
The web gave a lot of people access to information who didn't have it before, and we think the value web will give a lot of people access to the economy that they didn't have.
The value web.
Internet for Value Exchange, we think this is just great news for everybody.
All right, it's cool to see like where Ripple was back in 10 years ago. Wow, everyone looks so young and vibrant. And where we are today, right? Ripple's kind of mastered this payments area, the CBDC stuff, and now they're onto custody, right? And that's really where a lot of value is going to come from. I hope you guys liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, please let me know. I will see you in the next one. Been Crypto Sensei. Aloha.